Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of If I'm Being Honest. The other day, I caught myself judging another woman. It was such an automatic reaction. I genuinely wondered, and I was asking myself, when was the last time I judged another woman? And I didn't even realize that I was doing it. It was probably something like this judgment I passed was probably something small, and I think we do it so often and we don't even realize that we're doing it necessarily. The way someone is dressed, who someone is dating, the way someone carries themselves. And my first instinct was to have an opinion about it. And I think the worst part is that it did feel so automatic. Like I wasn't even questioning why I felt the need to judge another woman. And I think that's why I've been thinking a little bit about it because I don't think we realize we're doing this. And I don't think we realize how often we are doing this. We tend to notice everything. We notice what someone is wearing, who someone is dating, the way someone is living their life. And we tell ourselves that we're just being observant, that we're just being realistic or honest about what that person is doing. But most of the time, we're just passing a judgment. And we do it quietly, we do it subtly, maybe we do it internally as well. But it's this thing that it doesn't sit right with me. I think as women, we've spent so much time fighting for respect, for autonomy, and for space in the world. And we still feel the need to tear each other down. And it's so contradictory because how can we ask for understanding, for freedom, for equality, and still judge another woman for the same things we ask not to be judged about or things we don't want to be judged for? And we're so quick to label each other as well. We label someone as too much, too loud, she's attention seeking, or not enough, or that someone is too quiet and too reserved. We've somehow given ourselves the authority to decide what's acceptable and what isn't anymore. But the truth is, we're all just figuring it out. Some people are just doing it louder, and maybe some people are a bit messier with it, and some people are doing things differently to you. And I think that's what scares us. Difference scares us, and that's how we pass judgment. We pass judgment from insecurity because we pass comparison. I think you end up seeing something in someone else that triggers you, or it reminds you of something that you're not fully comfortable within yourself yet with. And instead of questioning why we're feeling insecure about it, we project it. I think there's also a little bit of quiet competition, and no one really talks about it. It's not always obvious and it's not maybe always super intentional, but it is there regardless. It's in the comparison, it's in subtle judgment, an internal like ranking system that we have going on about on who's doing life better. And we've normalized these things so much that it's almost something like it's a normal part of being a woman. And this is the part that's bothering me the most. We've gotten too comfortable with this narrative that we have going on. We've gotten too comfortable with remaining quiet. We are too comfortable pretending we didn't hear something, and we're too comfortable not speaking out when something doesn't sit right with us. We're comfortable choosing not to support someone publicly because it feels vulnerable. Comfortable watching something happen that you don't agree with, but ultimately deciding that it's not your place to speak out upon. Because speaking up can be uncomfortable. Backing someone can feel exposing, and calling something out, even if it doesn't sit right with you, can feel a bit risky. So we tend to take the easy way out and we decide to stay neutral. But there's harmless in neutrality as well. Every time we stay silent, it's another woman is being judged. Every time we laugh along with a joke at the expense of another woman instead of questioning it. And every time we choose comfort over honesty, we are contributing to the same environment we claim we want to escape. And I was also thinking about how just because I feel free in my life, free to express myself, free to be honest, that it doesn't mean that's the reality everywhere else. There are women who don't have the space to feel this way, to speak, to choose, or to be seen. And that's why it makes me question, what does it say about us if we have this freedom and we still choose to remain silent? And it's normal to have these moments, and I have these moments as well. We're human, we're going to have these moments. But I think there's a difference between having these thoughts and actually acting upon them. I think we underestimate the impact that we actually have on each other, because a small comment can stick, a look can linger, a judgment can stay with someone a lot longer than you think. But there's two sides to every coin, and the opposite can also be true. Support can stick, kindness can stick, and choosing to understand someone's actions instead of assuming something about them, that also sticks. So I don't think it's about becoming this perfectly supportive, non-judgmental person. I don't think those people exist. But maybe it's just about being more aware of what we say and how we act, especially towards other women. If you catch yourself thinking something negative, about to pass a judgment, ask yourself, why did I just think that? And does it say more about me than it actually does about that person? We need to choose to unlearn the idea that another woman's choices somehow reflect on us. And we need to instead choose to believe that there's enough space for all of us, because no one else is going to fix this for us. And if we want a world where women feel respected, safe, and free, it has to start from the way we're treating each other. And it's not about how we treat each other publicly, it's about how we treat each other privately and internally. So maybe here the question isn't why this is still happening, why are we still passing judgment, but maybe it's, why am I choosing comfort over growth? Why am I more comfortable staying quiet than speaking up? And where am I contributing, even if it's in small ways, in something that I don't even believe in? We're not just affected by this anymore, we're participating in it. And that's the problem. And the problem, most of all, is that we've gotten too comfortable with this. I'll see you next week.